Hey, so today we're going to be doing first unique character, and the problem description for this states, given a string S, find the first non-repeating character and return its index. So let's give an example of this one. So let's do example 2. That's a good one. So it's love, lead code. So, oops. We can see the first character, which is L, has repeating characters within the string. So there are two L's. So this is a non-unique character. And O as well, there are two O's. So it's a non-unique character. But as soon as we hit V, there are no other V's in this string. So we will return this one as our non-repeating string, because it is our unique character, but it's the first unique character. So say there was a Z at the end of this, it's a unique character, great, but it's not the first one. So we'll just return V. So you can probably see, just by looking at it, most unique ones you can do in ON squared with a nested for loop. But that's not the best solution we can do, because it is quite slow, a nested for loop. So it would work like, this is our ith index, and then we would iterate with the jth index and just check for duplicates, and then return the first one that isn't a duplicate. So that's the trivial answer. But instead, we're going to be using a hash map. And we're going to be using a really cool feature of the hash map to kind of play as a counter. So essentially, this is how our solution is going to work. And this is actually going to run an O of n, which is great, because linear solutions are awesome. So, let's say we have the string CAC. And so we're given this as our string. And we are going to iterate over it. So we have C and A in our hash map. So we're going to see C, and we're going to go, cool. Let's add that to a counter. I'm going to see A. Awesome. Let's add that to a counter. And then we're going to see C again. I'm going to go, there's now 2. And at the end of the string, we're going to have this finished, complete hash map. And we're going to iterate over it once more. And the first value we see that has a value of 1, we are going to return, because that is our unique character. There only exists one of this character in the list, in the hash map. So let's go ahead and start doing that. So let's first create our hash map. So it's going to be a character to an integer. I'm going to call it map equal new hash map. Oh, did that wrong way around. Cool. So we're going to populate our hash map now. That's the length. So we're going to make it to the length of the string. That's how big we're going to make our hash map. Our for loop, sorry. So we're going to start populating this now. And we're actually going to, for this, we're going to use a map function called get or default. And essentially what get or default does is it's going to try and get a value we give it, but if the value doesn't exist, it's going to set it to what we give it. So that's probably just a bunch of words right now, so let's actually give an example. So let's just do map2. And map2, I'm going to put the value A. And I'm going to set it to 22. So cool, when we try and get 22, when we get A from the hash map, we're going to get the value 22. That is a given. Awesome. So we have A, that's 22. So that's the only value in there right now. So print ln, gotta put map2 in there, map2.get A. Now let's print out another map2.get. So this is our map function, get or default. We're going to get the value z. And as you see, we don't have a value z. We only put a in here. So it's going to go, there is no z. I don't see a z. So, get or default actually has two parameters. So it's going to look for z, and when it doesn't find z, it's going to replace it with our other value. So let's just make it 77. So let's print this. And we have 22 and 77. So we're going to kind of use this to our advantage. Because we're going to, every single time, we're going to add 1 to it. So this is 77. And now it'll be 78. As it tried to get z again. And that's going to be handy in our for loop, because we can just add 1 every single time, which is great. So let's get rid of this, so it doesn't cause any confusion. Tidy this up a bit. Great. So we're in our for loop now, and we are going to want to put our values in it. Put our string indexes. We're going to have character A equals s dot char at I. So it's going to store the current index for the entire array every single time it loops. So we're going to put A in there, and the value we are going to put in it is going to be the function we just did. So get or default A 0. So it's going to be defaulted as 0 plus 1. So the first time we see it, it's going to add 1 to it. And we'll print this out as well so we can visualize it and see what it looks like. So get a default. Yep, so that's going to add it to our hash map. Perfect. So that's it's not too clear, so let's actually print it out. Let's see what it looks like. Map.get I. So we're going to get the ith. Ooh, sorry. Map.get A. Yep. That should work, yep. Ooh. Because it's a map function, we do have to put map in front of it, and that slipped me, whoops. Perfect. Oh my goodness. So, if we see from this string example, LeetCode. So L, it added 1, awesome. E, added 1, awesome. And there's another E, and now that's going to be 2, because there's 2 E's. T, it's going to be 1. C, and you get the drift. E is 3 because there's 3 E's. So now that we have that, we can do a final iteration a final iteration of our map, because our map is completed. So we're going to do if map.get s.char at I. So is it s.char at I? Yep, equals 1. Then we know that that is our unique value. I'm going to return I for our ith value. And then if there is no values, we're going to return -1. So we're going to slap that at the bottom. Now, if we remove everything, yep, that looks good. Perfect. So here our solution runs in 39% better, which is 39 milliseconds. That's really great.